Have you ever felt like you're just constantly grinding? Like you're constantly pushing, but the joy you thought you'd feel from your achievements is somehow entirely missing? Modern hustle culture tells us over and over that success literally has to be painful. It tells us we have to burn ourselves out just to prove our worth. But what if that entire paradigm is just completely wrong? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a magnifying glass to the very foundation of hustle culture. Using insights from psychology, ancient philosophy, and elite performance coaching, we are going to explore the tantalizing concept of achieving more by actually straining less. To kick things off, let's look at a phrase that has basically become the anthem of modern ambition. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. You've probably heard it, right? It's a super famous quote by Frederick Douglass, and it's been so deeply ingrained into our collective psyche as the absolute ultimate truth for achieving our goals. We use it all the time to justify our stress, our burnout, and our sheer exhaustion. But here is the crazy, shocking history behind those words. Douglass said this way back in 1857, and he was fighting to abolish slavery. He was talking about a literal movement for political emancipation. He absolutely was not talking about grinding for a corporate promotion or suffering through your endless daily task list. And yet, modern hustle culture has totally hijacked his profound words to basically glamorize everyday suffering. So let's get into Section 1, the myth of struggle, and deconstruct hustle culture. We really need to break this down because this toxic romanticization of suffering is actively holding us back. Look, there is a massive gap between struggle and effort. Struggle is a heavy burden of suffering. It's an unnecessary obstacle course we just invent in our own minds. Effort, on the other hand, is consistent work and clear focus. Think about elite athletes for a second. We often look at them and perceive their success as this massive, painful struggle. But experts will tell you that they actually succeed through emotional regulation, clear focus, and having the right support system. It is all about positive action, not playing the martyr. Which brings us to Section 2, the psychology of flow, or the science of the zone. Let's pivot from the myth of struggle to the scientifically backed reality of peak performance. Back in 1975, a psychologist named Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi coined the concept of flow. It's defined as the mental state where a person is fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement, and real enjoyment in an activity. It's a state of true, effortless attention. This is the very essence of success without struggle, where your actions and your consciousness just melt together perfectly. Think about your own life for a minute. If you've ever been so engrossed in a task that you completely lost track of time, you were experiencing flow. When you hit that state, a very specific psychological shift actually happens in your brain. You have this intense concentration right on the present moment. Your action and your awareness completely merge. You totally lose that nagging self-consciousness. You feel a great sense of personal control, and your sense of time is totally altered. And it's intrinsically rewarding. Operating in this effortless hyperfocus brings you massive gratification, all while actually lowering your baseline anxiety. It's incredible. So, how do we actually get there? Well, research postulates 3 essential preconditions for flow. First off, you need clear goals and a sense of progress. That establishes structure and direction. Second, you need clear and immediate feedback so you can instantly adjust what you're doing. And third, and this is totally vital, you need a challenge-skill balance. It's like the Goldilocks zone. You have to match the demands of the task with your perceived ability. That perfect balance is what keeps you from feeling overwhelmed by anxiety on one end or completely understimulated by boredom on the other. Moving on to Section 3, the art of effortless effort. It's an oxymoron that really works. Act without action, work without effort. This is such a profound quote from Lao Tzu in the ancient text, the Tao Te Ching. It introduces the Taoist concept of Wu Wei. Now, let's be clear, this doesn't mean you just lie on the couch all day and do nothing. It actually means taking the exact next right step without adding a ton of unnecessary stress, rumination, or complexity to it. It's all about simply not getting in your own way. What's really amazing is how Lao Tzu's ancient wisdom connects directly to modern high-performance sports. Take Condor Performance, for example. They're a group that coaches Olympic athletes, and their advice is literal gold. Put all your effort into the preparation basket. Then, come competition time, turn up and let it happen. For expert performers, once the skills are automated, you have to let go during the actual event. You don't force it, you allow the performance to just flow naturally. That takes us to Section 4, soul-aligned success. Prospering without selling your soul. Let's compare the totally exhausting metrics of our current culture with a much more energizing framework created by success expert Deborah Poneman.
Hustle culture is entirely built on performance pressure and this constant nagging feeling of time scarcity. Soul-aligned success, however, completely shifts the focus over to authentic presence and a sense of sacred flow. It elevates your whole definition of success so that your outer achievements and your inner well-being rise together, rather than constantly competing against each other.
Deborah Poneman states it so beautifully. Let your soul, not your ego, be the architect of your ambitions. If you've ever achieved a really major milestone but were left feeling totally hollow afterward, well, that was your ego driving. But when your ambitions are genuinely rooted in inner resonance and true purpose, they naturally generate joy and fulfillment that actually lasts. So the crucial point here is redefining prosperity from the inside out. Poneman outlines 5 massive paradigm shifts. First, move from performance to presence. Second, align your goals with your soul. Third, build sacred, supportive partnerships instead of trying to go it alone. Fourth, shift from time pressure to sacred flow by honoring your natural rhythms. And fifth, expand your definition of success to actively include joy and peace. Doing this allows you to stop measuring your worth by your busyness and start radiating true prosperity. Finally, Section 5, working smart, not hard. Let's look at some practical steps for everyday life. All right, let's break down exactly how you can implement this new paradigm into your daily routine. Step 1, give yourself permission to actually be successful. Often, it's a hidden lack of self-belief that sabotages us first. Step 2, vividly imagine what that success looks like to prime your subconscious. Step 3, stop telling yourself it absolutely has to be hard. Dropping that martyr mentality is a total game changer. And step 4, get crystal clear on what your idea of success really is, not what society is constantly yelling at you that it should be. Try making this one simple but incredibly powerful shift today. Swap the phrase, "there's no success without struggle," for "there's no success without effort." It's a subtle tweak, but remember, effort is a doable, focused action that actually moves you forward. Struggle is just a heavy, completely unnecessary burden that drains all of your energy. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, pre-provocative thought that combines Poneman's deep insight with the science of flow. Ask yourself, who are you right now, beyond your to-do list? And what could you achieve if you simply stopped trying so hard? When you drop the struggle, align with your true self, and step into the zone, success doesn't have to be this exhausting battle. It can be a completely natural state of flow. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep growing, and just see what happens when you let success naturally flow into your life.